What is up, guys? Welcome to Clix Corner. I'm in a slightly different setting today. Nice, lovely brown curtains in the background rather than a bedroom that you just really don't need to see in general. So I thought I'd basically take a couple of minutes to talk about what happened to the channel, and by that I mean, like, in the last sort of maybe 3 months, we've had a lot less activity than I normally would do, particularly on Instagram rather than on YouTube itself. But yeah, I thought I'd just talk about reasons why that break sort of happened. It wasn't really like an intentional thing. I guess I just sort of drifted away a bit. It sort of fell out of my mind, and I sort of lost interest a bit, and there's many reasons why it happened. It's been a really confusing couple of months recently. Essentially, one thing that started it off was the main factor is just a huge lack of money all of a sudden, and that sort of limited how much I could invest in the game. And honestly, even though I just bought all that Avengers Defenders War stuff, I feel like if you're not investing in Clix, you start losing interest in it. Like, if you don't have like new things that you've just bought that you're all excited about playing, you start, sort of losing interest. Although, in my personal opinion, it's rare that I come up with something that I'm excited to play at locals in a constructed tournament. So I miss a lot of tournaments just because I can't really be bothered playing anything, because there's not really an awful lot of figures that I get excited about in that way. And that's just the way it is, really. Sometimes I'm excited enough by the OP kit to just play anything. Sometimes I just want to play. So a lack of money has started proceedings off. Next thing is the fact that not only does not having any money mean that you're less excited about the game because you got less new shiny things, it becomes extremely difficult to play the game due to the way WizKids have been handling the recent OP kits and stuff. So, for example, the What If set was one that I decided and Elseworlds for that matter, when I realised I didn't have as much money as I expected to still have, leading into this next student loan, which should go in the next couple of days, and then I'll be splurging on the Thor set. Although, to be fair, I'll probably splurge into my overdraft tomorrow anyway, because I know it's due. But essentially, when that happened, I let Elseworlds and the What If set just go by the wayside. It wasn't important. I didn't really care. And truth be told, a lot of stuff in the sets, it's not interesting to me because I haven't read any of the What If comics, and it just seems like a lot of malarkey that I just don't really need to concern myself with. See, I'm playing with scissors in this video, and that just can't be good. A lot of, because of my disinterest in that, I just sort of went, just go, screw that. I ordered the Advocate with all that hand stuff from my mail opening a month ago, and that was literally my interest in the What If set as of now. I do want the rare Thor, but I didn't care enough to actually get one, because I just didn't see the sets being worth investing in. So then when I wasn't interested in those two sets, which means I wasn't involved in them, so that is part of the reason why I wasn't around. But in addition to not wanting to buy the sets anyway, of course they started doing the Colossal Terrain Dial OP kits, and unfortunately I don't really feel like paying £30 for 2 boosters of a set I'm not interested in playing. I tell a lie, it's like £25 really. I'm being unfair there, but for 2 boosters of a set I'm not interested in having to have a chance at winning something that I could later buy for the same price that my investment would be. Especially when I was a bit disillusioned with the game at the time, a bit disinterested. So as much as I was interested in the terrain dials, and as much as I might somehow be majorly hindered by not having them, even though they definitely bring stuff to the game. They just don't bring an awful lot to the. Although I'm prepared to be corrected on that. although I'm a bit behind with that now, it wasn't worth spending my money on at the time. Um, and as much as if we pretend that it cost WizKids anything in the first place to make the Colossals, so then they charge the store more for them, so the store has to do the sealed. But we won't get into that because that's just capitalism and that's not something that's worth ranting about really. Capitalism is quite a good thing really, but if we pretend there is a reason why the Colossal Terrain Dials couldn't just be regular OP kits, if we pretend that they have to be sealed because they are actually more expensive to make and all that sort of stuff, then that's fair enough. But realistically, it would have been a lot easier for me if it was just a normal OP kit, or even if it was one booster sealed, which I still wouldn't have been hugely interested in, but why not? It's something to do. Another reason is just that because of the lack of money, I just stopped going to locals. I didn't really feel welcome there. I didn't really feel like there was a massive thing for me to do. When I'm not playing Clix, I'm not playing anything because I fell out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Last winter, basically, earlier this year as well. And I fell out of Vanguard quite recently as well. And generally, whole thing with games I was just not really interested in. And so with not having much money, locals just wasn't worth going to anymore because, like I say, I just didn't have anything to do. I was just sitting bored, and and I just it wasn't worth bothering. It was, might as well just keep the money. There were a couple of problems with my personal life, which is more or less sorted now as well. Which it didn't exactly hinder me playing games and stuff. It was just sort of generally it was like a sort of weighing thing on my mind, like, oh, I can't be bothered doing this, I'm not interested in that, and sort of it was like, it wasn't really a depression, but I was kind of down about a lot of stuff. Like, I made the situation about games a lot worse in my mind. It was like as if I was a bit depressed about games, but it was like, it wasn't really, it's hard to describe really. It was like I was just not interested anymore. One strong reason for that was all the rule changes, because once you start getting disinterested in a game, all the rules suddenly changing just doesn't help matters. It was the same thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Link Monsters. It just doesn't make it any easier to get re-interested in the game. I still haven't checked out all the new rules, to be honest. I did intend to do a video or even maybe a podcast about it, but I kind of feel like the timing on that is a bit late now, so drop a comment if you'd still like to see that. I can't see anyone being particularly interested. I'm playing with the scissors again. I'm gonna hurt myself. Yeah, the personal problems is more or less sorted. The money thing is more or less gone. And once I've sort of versed myself with the new rules, I'll probably be back. I'm starting to do a couple of these videos where I just have to talk without having sort of anything going on. I have a couple of ideas for things I can use, such as videos of meta pieces that I wish I could afford, that I wish never existed. Things that aren't meta pieces that I think are pretty worth using. Various videos like that, ranks and all that sort of stuff. But that is essentially it, I think. It's mostly money. It's a little bit personal problems, because like personal problems sort of weighed in on the not having anything to do at locals, because it was like I say, I felt like a bit pushed out because there was just nothing for me to do there. And once that started sort of happening, it was like, well, why would I go there? I mean, that's not where I go anymore. It's not what I do. It's not worth doing. But mostly it was just money that sort of hamstrung me. Hopefully I can survive a bit better this time, although I have a massive shopping list already, especially due to trying to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! At the same time as well. Although if you'd like to check out my Yu-Gi-Oh! Channel, that's in my featured channels. It's called Card Corner now. You can't miss it. There'll be some stuff on there soon. but yeah, I guess everything's sort of going back on track now, and I'm sort of pulling myself back into locals now that I can, that it's worth going to again, and I'm going back to uni as well, so I'll be getting the bus every week anyway, so I'll have my bus pass, so I'll be going to locals when I can't get a lift and so on, so it should work itself out. Tomorrow is my sidekick event at my locals, but the prizes look so dull. Captain America, Thor, all that nonsense. More, thank you. They're generic, they're not really, like, they're not having anything special to them. And as much as I was looking forward to the sidekick event, I don't know the rules anymore. I've had literally a day to prepare something if I'd wanted to. So I'm just going to have to let that one go. But it does mean that I can try out some of the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff I've been hoping to do, so that's good. So that is basically, I think, everything summed up on why I've been a bit quiet recently. I have been posting infrequent Instagram posts about various things that, you know, I'm interested in doing with other channels. I've got a Let's Plays channel now called the Archive Feed, which will also be my featured channels. And if I should change the name of the channel, I'll put it in the description of this. Well, I don't think I will now, because you can overthink these things, really. Anyhow, I'm muttering now. So, thank you for watching this video, because I know not an awful lot of people watch these vlogs, and I do appreciate the people who do. And I know it's normal to take breaks out of a game, but this wasn't really a planned one, so I thought it was worth explaining rather than... Like, if I'd planned a break, I'd have just put up a vlog saying I'm just going to take a quick break and I'd be back at some stage. But yeah, should be back now on all accounts, and hopefully things will just start working again. And probably because I'm really excited about the Thor set, and like I say, I'll probably do some... Might even do some booster openers tomorrow. We'll just have to see how it goes. But anyway, thanks again for watching, and drop a subscribe if you're a new watcher. Yeah, thanks. Peace out.